Hello Bladers, welcome back to another Beyblade Burst unboxing video. Today we got the Beyblade Burst BU B203 Ultimate Fusion DX set. This comes with King Helios MR, Super Hyperion MR, and Divine Belial 3 with the H gear core, as well as a new red and blue long bay launcher that comes with a bearing spin unit and a power gear unit. The two new blades, Super MR and King MR, can split apart and fuse together to make Super King metal or Super King rubber, or Sparking metal and Sparking rubber, as the M and the R stand for metal rubber specifically. Here's the side for the new Divine Belial. And H gear has two parts, a plastic piece and a metal piece, and can actually switch between high and low mode, unlike the L gear from Longinus. First up, we're going to talk about the new launcher. As you can see, it does feature a red power gear unit and a translucent red bearing spin unit. Pretty cool. And the core unit is blue, so it pretty much has the color scheme of Helios and Hyperion together. I do believe the core unit does have a slightly longer string than normal, so this will be the most powerful launcher you can get for Beyblade Burst. It's funny to me how with each new series of Burst, and with each new major set they release, they always make a more powerful launcher than the last. When it comes to the base, the first thing we're going to start off with is Divine Belial, with the driver bearing Drift. So Drift did originally come on Lucifer the End, but this time, this Drift specifically has a bearing inside of its POM plastic tip. So as you can see, if you spin it, it's going to spin for quite a long time. And this driver has incredibly good balance, incredibly good stamina, mainly due to the fact that it's a lot pointier compared to the original Drift, so it's nowhere near as aggressive, which is a good thing, and fantastic life after death. So I can already see this being a top tier driver overall to use for competitive combinations. The disc is Nexus. Nothing new with this one. We've seen it plenty of times before. It is compatible with the D and S gear, which is really the only time you should be using this disc, as those make it very good for attack combinations. Here we have the Divine Blade. Obviously, it is now a gold recolor and has purple, red, and the blue sticker on its metal points to represent the three bases of the sun: Hyperion, Helios, and Lucifer. And there will be a new Lucifer at the end of the BU layer series, which is pretty cool. Of course, this can be used with the A gear and the F gear. If you really want to maximize the Divine Blade's attack power, you really should be using it with A gear. Here is the Belial 3 core. It is vertical like Belial 2, but has the color scheme and is facing forward like Belial 1. Looks really nice. It is part of the overdrive system, so with a strong shoot, this red burst stopper will come out and will make it unburstable. It also features the two tabs for its BU lock. And unlike Belial 2, the teeth are a lot blockier, similar to the Valkyrie 2 core, so that should definitely make its burst resistance a lot tighter. The final thing we're going to mention is H gear, which comes in two pieces. You have this metal piece that looks more like your traditional armor, and you have this plastic piece that features three wings, both with a sticker that's meant to represent Helios, Hyperion, and Lucifer. So you can have two modes with the H gear. Low mode, where the plastic piece goes on top, and boom, here you got your low mode. In high mode, you gotta do the opposite. So the metal piece goes on top while the plastic piece goes at the bottom. And what's cool about it is that there is small little tabs on the inside of the plastic piece of A gear. And these tabs will rub up against the forged disc when the bay is fully assembled. So act as an extra layer of burst resistance to a combination that already has pretty solid burst resistance overall. So there is some purpose to using high mode. Of course, I'm more of a low mode guy. It just looks better, in my opinion. So here's the fully assembled gold recolor of Divine Belial 3, Nexus, bearing drift, first gear. The next bay we're talking about is Super Hyperion MR, starting off with its driver, of course. This is Xplosion. So it looks very similar to the Exceed driver. The only difference is that the rubber sticks out slightly as a star-like pattern, similar to that to the Jolt driver. And the free spinning plate around it is a lot wider, akin to like Destroy. So think of it as like the combination of Jolt and Destroy, or just a rubber Destroy. Which is pretty cool, because honestly I was hoping for a driver like this to be made. Because it will increase the base attack power, while still giving it good life after death, for it to be useful against opposite spinning combinations. So I'm definitely excited to see how this driver will play out in the stadium. Here we got the Tapered disc, which came on Vanish Fafnir. Very low angled disc. Not sure why they give it to Hyperion, since this is more stamina oriented. Also, it is disappointing that it did get a repeat disc. The Armor 2, unfortunately, is also a reused part. Came on pretty much almost every Belial, actually. Now we're on to a new part, Super MR. The MR stands for metal and rubber. Obviously, there's metal on the left side of the blade, while there's rubber on the right side of the blade. And what's cool is that if you look on the inside, the blade is dual rotating. So what is so cool about that? Well, you can just put the Helios core on it and it will assemble perfectly fine. It's pretty interesting because, like, with blades like Astro, you have to reverse the whole thing. But no, with this one, you can it's just dual rotating. You don't need to flip it over or nothing. That's pretty cool. Definitely glad to see them doing that. And of course, when it comes to design, it looks a lot like the Super Ring from the original Hyperion. Took a lot more force than expected, but this is how you split this blade, Super MR. Before we get into that gimmick, we have to cover the Hyperion core. So it just looks a lot like the original Hyperion sparking chip from, well, sparking. There's no special gimmicks, it just features 2 BU locks on each side. It seems to have pretty solid teeth. The Helios core is just, well, a left rotating version of the Hyperion core with a slightly different color scheme. Same spiky, sharp teeth, same 2 BU locks. And then here we have King MR. Metal here, rubber here. Obviously it looks like the King blade with all these 10 different points. And it is also dual rotating, so boom. Drop the armor. Boom. Now it can be attached with any right spinning core, so it can have a right spinning King, just like how you can have a left spinning Super. And yeah, it has the 10 armor. Meh, nothing special. Now when it comes to the real cool aspect of this gimmick, just like the Super Blade, I should say, King can split up into 2 pieces. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. And now we have King Metal, King Rubber, Super Metal, and Super Rubber. So you can combine the 2 pieces together like so. And boom. This is sparking rubber, because it's just the 2 rubber sides combined. And this is sparking metal with the 2 metal sides combined. So the rubber side probably will have better attack, but the metal side will just be better for defending hits. Hence why the metal, sparking metal, is mainly advertised for Helios, the more defensive combination of the 2. while sparking rubber is advertised for Hyperion, obviously being the attack type bay of these two. What's cool is that you can have plenty of different combinations with just these two blades alone. Like, if you really wanted to, you can have a sparking metal rubber for both Helios and Hyperion. And what's really cool is that if you got two sets and two super rings and two king rings, you can make a king or super with just the metal or just rubber, which is pretty cool. Of course, again, you need two sets, so that's gonna cost y'all. I wasn't willing to pay 2 sets for that. Here is the Giga disc, which came on Cyclone Ragnarok. Definitely fits better with Helios. Once again, though, still disappointed that it's not new parts. This boy is called Zeal. It once again features a free spinning plate and also a rubber spike-like tip. So it's meant to combine better grip with the stadium floor for stronger defense with high endurance of a stamina-like driver. And of course, this free spinning guard does give it strong life after death, just like Xplosion. So, you know, this is pretty much just an upgraded version of the Zone performance tip. So here we got all 3 bays side by side. Sparking Helios metal, sparking Hyperion rubber. Pretty cool. And I will be doing test battles with all 3 of these bays, so let's get into that. This concludes my unboxing of the Beyblade Burst BU Ultimate Fusion DX set. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you next time for more Beyblade Burst unboxings.